Welcome everyone to Numerical Gems. When God appeared to Moshe at the burning bush, Moshe asked, "You want to send me back to Egypt?" They're going to ask, "Who sent you? What is your name?" So first God responded, "Ekia asher ekia, I will be that I will be." But then he continues and he says about the name Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, the most essential name of God. The name I will be that I will be only appears one time in the entire Tanakh, at the burning bush. But of course the name Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey is the most essential name of God. And there, God says, Zeh Shemi La'olam. That is my name forever. The sages point out that the word forever, La'olam, is actually missing a letter. It's it's written chaser. It could be written with a vav, but here there is no vav. And so that root for La'olam, which means forever, also can mean to hide. And from this, the sages learn that we don't pronounce the name of God the way that it's written. They did in the temple during special times, but since the destruction of the temple, we have lost the knowledge of how to pronounce the name. And this is what it means. This is my name forever. This is my name to hide. So how do we pronounce the name? So we take another name of God, an Aleph and Daled and Nun and Yud, refer to the Shem Adni. And so that's how we say God's name. So it's written one way, but we say it in a different way. When you add up the numerical values of these two names, of Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey equals 26, and Aleph and Daled and Nun and Yud equals 65, it equals 91. 91 is also the numerical value of Sukkah, the booth that we dwell in during the holiday of Sukkot, Sukkah. So it's explained in Chassidut that we can have a visualization that every time we say the name of God, we can imagine sitting in a sukkah with, especially the schach, the greenery on the top of the sukkah is called the schach, and that represents what is called the wings of the Shekhinah, the presence of the Shekhinah hovering over us and protecting us. And we are sitting in the protective space, the divine space of a sukkah. So we're told that it's a beautiful intent that when we say the name of God, we can envision being surrounded from all sides, because a sukkah is basically a cube, and we're in the middle of the cube, and we have this image of being protected. Every evening in our prayers, we ask God, Ufros aleinu sukat shalamecha. Not just during Sukkah, every day of the year, we ask God to spread over us, Ufros aleinu sukat shalamecha, a sukkah of peace. And one of the greatest experiences of bliss and peace is being in a sukkah. It is truly a blissful experience. So we learned from Reb Shlomo that he learned a custom from the Bavava Rebbe The Baba Rebbe, he would collect beautiful artistic birds, not real birds, but birds of different metals or cloth, or just different artistic types of birds, and he would hang them and display them in his sukkah. But how many? 91. He would have 91 birds in his sukkah. And I've always loved that custom. And so every year we put actually more than 91 birds. We have just all kinds of drapes and table coverings and ceramic birds and metal birds and cloth birds all over our sukkah. But the idea here is ufros aleinu sukkat shalamecha, that the presence of God, especially the schach, when we look up and we see the greenery protecting us, so we think of a sukkah of peace. We think of God as protecting us and giving us peace. It's interesting because 91 is the triangle of 13. What does a triangle of a number mean? All of the numbers up to that number added together. So if you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the ways up to plus 13 equals 91. 13 equals two very, very important words: echad, one, and ahava, love. And for those who saw our previous numerical gems, so we talked about this idea of oneness and love in relationship to the Shema and in relationship to shaking lulav. And so the Sukkah, which equals 91, is really the manifestation of feeling God's oneness and feeling God's love. The Shema is 6 words. And when we sit in a sukkah, we're told that we should be very aware that we're in a cube. We're in the midst of a cube. And the same thing when we shake lulav. We are the ones shaking, but we're shaking to 6 directions. We're creating a spiritual cube around us. And so the oneness and the love that we feel in sukkahs is a manifestation of God's name. Because, as we said in the beginning, the 4-letter name of God, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the way we say it with the Shem Adni equals 91. So I want to bless everyone to remember this, we'll call it meditation or visualization, that when we could do it both ways. When we mention God's name, we can remember, visualize, re-experience that peace of sitting in a sukkah, the oneness that we feel, the love that we feel. And the opposite, when we're in the sukkah, to realize that the sukkah is a manifestation of God's name. May we all be blessed that God puts upon us, spreads upon us a sukkah of peace.